Hey everyone, welcome back to More So Dungeon. So, been trying to slowly push the floors, hoping to unlock the last bit of the Janner accessories. Doesn't look like we have. My hope is we can get it just using credits, and hopefully we'll come across it once we start farming ore. Because yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. What did we do? We did 20,000 this time. That's shocking to me, because I started at 150, so that means 30% of the floors, no more than that, sorry, 60% of the floors were warped past. So that's also probably a reason we haven't ran into pieces, because we've probably skipped a lot of janitors. So it's, hopefully we can get through credits. But than that, decent amount of gold, decent amount of essence, floor per hours. I'm kind of using an incomplete comp, because the way I have it set up, I have a Blade Master in one with the Soda Stein. And the idea behind that is once we unlock the Sword of Space and Time, he gets that along with the Soda Sign. I've experimented with it. The Soda Sign works in the offhand, so it's fine. Yeah, I guess we'll just get into trying to farm uranium now. Right, so we just need to work on our ore farm comp. Currently, this is it. We can do a lot better. To be honest, all we'll probably do is put the Dark Mage in one, give him the pick. And we'll start relatively. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up ore and figure out what the optimal level to sort of start at is. Right. So according to the wiki, you find the rarest ore, so to speak, from 5,000 plus. So we're starting at 5,000. This is the comp I'm going with. It's not completely optimal. I would probably suggest using more miners and really dragging out your Soda Sign procs. But for my mindset, I can't really explain it. This is just what I've chosen to go through. So all my miners set to transmute. So everything should hopefully become ore. Nurse will either hit one or a heal. Then the Tavern Owner will get one hit with the Soul Sign. Then the Dark Mage will just clear everything. And because you're using credits, I would suggest swapping a miner in. But if you're not using credits, this is probably the better build, just so there is some sort of sustain and the fights don't drag out. And more time-wise is the big thing. I explained that well enough. Item find is not an issue. So we just have 147. Main thing is that ore find. Again, I wasn't really trying to get high. It is high, so I think it's... if I do the math. So we have that 20% chance, and then every ore, if you divide that by 15, that's... it's really weird how they do the rarity. I mean, it's not weird, it's kind of interesting. But the fact is, every 15 points in this reduces the denominator, so that bottom number, so say an ore is 1 out of 10, meaning if you had 150, it would now be 1 out of 1. Obviously, they're not 1 out of 10, they're much higher, but the idea being stuff like uranium, that might be, say, 1 out of 500 is now 1 out of 450 or something like that. I mean, it would be 10, 12 would be 180, be 13. So say it was 500, it would be now be 1 out of 487. This isn't a big deal, but it does help. I'm tempted to try and push it further, but I think just going for gold as well is probably our best bet. I'm using the radioactive suits over the gold because it does amplify their ore find because it's all stats up. Mammoth shields, I'm curious to see how many credits we're going to get back. If it's not a lot, I'll probably swap it out for something with a slot. If we get enough uranium, I think I have the shields unlocked. I'll make the shields, and then that's another boost to stats, plus has that gem slot. But other than that, we'll probably just save it. Make sure I have. I should boost relics though. We'll do one without. So yeah, so starting from 5,000, we're gonna do quick battles. We don't want warps, we do want healing fairies, but mainly we want mine shafts. Okay, let's try 10,000. With our relics, we should be able to clear a lot. But I'm curious to see exactly. Because obviously we don't really do well against ambushes. Because I am trying to transmute as much as possible first. You could simply run the Dark Mage first with Noxon and the Kllooooyy's pick so that it can clear everything, and then just have, I guess, five miners for as much ore find as you can. Probably don't need the tavern owner because you don't need the clock boost and you don't need the gold boost particularly. So that might be the better build, is a Dark Mage, 5 ore miners, the Dark Mage with the pick, as well as the speed trinket. Though I can't remember, I don't know if it was enough to outspeed ambushes. I know it's enough to outspeed the janitors. Yeah, so we did get to 15,000. Oh, you can view loot. I don't remember this being there. I'm just curious ore-wise. So, a lot of gold, a lot of platinum, uranium, 48, so not a whole bunch. That's a good milestone. So 48 off the first 10,000. We've got another 10,000, and see if we get much more than 48. Because then it might also be worth starting at a much later level. But, well, according to the wiki, the ore is capped at past 5,000. So you have the maximum chance to get the rarest ore from 5,000 onwards. But we'll see. I mean, it's always good to do your own testing and try and figure stuff out. I also didn't look at gold or essence, I should have. Because we have a lot of multipliers. I'd be curious to see. I could probably get rid of the treasure shovels as well, because they have item find. That's probably a better weapon just for gold. I'm surprised there's not more ore find stuff. So it does look like we can easily clear to 25,000 should be. Oh yeah. Start with, pause that, continued, yeah, to 25,000. Alright, so loot-wise, minimal of both. Ore-wise, we're at 48, we're now at 99. So it's about level. Every 10,000 floors, we're getting about 50, which is kind of atrocious. But it does let me do math and work out exactly how much we need. So, regardless of plating, regardless of plating, I can figure out, you know, shield-wise and the other 2 radioactive suits. So we'll do that. We'll stop here, since we still do have quite a lot of credits. Also, probably just start at a later level, so that we can get a lot of more gold and essence, if the ore doesn't really matter. So if we grab you back out, we needed, what does it look like? 3 more radioactive suits? Yeah, 3 more radioactive suits and all 6 shields. Well, I did not look at how many credits we got. We'll have to test that again in the next one. Right, so crafting-wise, and also the radioactive rod. I guess that would be better, because there's that booster stats. Ore-wise, we got 33 bars. That's horrible. How many is it per? It's 3. So every 50 we get, say, 15. Wow. Can make the prism. We don't have enough labradorite. We can make 2 more suits. Isn't enough. I'll probably go with the suits. Well, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. We probably stick with what we have for the most part. At least until I test the credits. So I guess we'll just try again. We'll start at... We'll try 100,000. See if the group can progress from there. Credits, keys are fine. I would like to try and figure out a way to sort of push the ore find though. The amount of ore we're getting. Whether it be cut out healing fairies or more miners. While this is going, I'm going to look up the rates and sort of do the math behind how much ore find we need to make uranium more consistent. According to the wiki, they're all out of 500. And because the denominator is the same across the board, any change we do to that changes every ore, which means that realistically, the ratio actually stays the same. So the amount of ore you get shouldn't change, because you still get the same breakup of copper through to uranium, which is kind of annoying. Because it would be nicer if, say, uranium was 1 out of 500, and on the books, copper was, say, 500 out of 2,000. So it's still, what would that be? 125 out of 500. So if you were to subtract them down, they'd be equivalent. But having more points in ore find to decrease that denominator would put copper to 500 out of 1,999, and then uranium would be 1 out of 499, which actually works out better in that case. So the more ore find you have, the higher chance of rare ores. Maybe the wiki is wrong in that regard. I mean, I might try swapping into the uranium shields and bumping it up more and see if we get more than around 50. But if that's the case, it kind of means there's no point getting more than 100 ore find. Ore find is redundant because they're all equivalent. So we'll end this time, and I'm going to look at credits. It should say down here. No, so you don't get credits from credits, which makes sense, unfortunately. But it does mean we can go ahead and swap over to uranium shields. Depending on, of course, how much we have. We need 30, so we can make 1. Wow, that's awful. And we'll swap to the ore find trinkets for this run. So, I don't know, if we get more than, say, 60 or 70, we'll call that a substantial difference. Otherwise, we'll just go back to trying to prioritize essence and gold, I guess. So we'll start at 5,000 again and see. Because later levels might have a difference, but we'll have to find out to be sure. We'll stack as much ore find as we can. Probably just get rid of all the trinkets. I'll start at 5,000. Growing good. You can have a slot. You can just have gold. So ore find's now 277. So not a huge difference, but still, hopefully it makes an impact. 1,000. Right. Goes on. Fingers crossed this works, and then it's actually worth it. Right, so fingers crossed. 57. So that doesn't warrant a concise conclusion. Though that could be a low amount in the current grouping. I guess we need to go again and see if we get more than 57. The 57 is the low end of our new sort of ore range. Who knows? One thing, it's definitely slowed down a lot. So, that's curious. Stat-wise, we haven't... Well, I guess we covered some withering. Okay, so 57 is now 106. So no, it doesn't seem like it's conclusive enough. We'll end. We'll just go back to our old gear, minus the mammoth shields, of course. So we'll take this one out. We'd probably just swap to ore find, I guess. Not ore find, gold find. Maybe with slot, because it has essence find and withering. And also ups our dark mage damage. Good gold. Nothing else seems too relevant. So I want to try out a slower comp. To be honest, if I cut the dark mage with something else to get more hits out of the Tavernator, I am pretty sure we wouldn't make it as far. Was this 67% gold find? It's actually probably the highest we can get to. Because, yeah, Staff Breed is only 42. So I guess we are keeping the treasure shovels. What to do, Since we'll try starting at 150 this time. I'd kinda like it to be symmetrical, to be frank. Right. Nope, 10,000. Okay. While on, we might as well check the way I just... Oh, I clicked it off. Well, at least we can see how the different works. The transmutes, they're hitting. Why are they hitting? Can only one use transmute? seems so. But if the ore is deleted, then they use transmute on something else. You can't. So it resists. We get rid of, say, this one. Can we now transmute another one? No. So it's only one per battle. Fine. That means we could probably cut 2 miners anyway, and just have miner, have an owner, dark mage. But then the ore find is going to go down substantially. Curious. Is there innate ore bind? Is... what is it? Somewhere amongst this jumble of words. 25. So we'd lose 50 ore bind, which is kind of big. But we also showed that once you get to 100, it's not a huge difference. So what would we gain? We'd gain extra trinket slots. We could run the Dark Lord. No, because we'd have to slow him down, and that's losing 1 trinket slot anyway, so that's pointless. Who could we run? Oh, perfect. We can run the chef. That's what this card is missing. I forgot about the chef's food. Give me a sec. Okay, so the chef has this magma souffle. Next ore vein produces 1 plus resource, max 5. I'm curious if that's how many times he can use it per battle, or if it means the most they can drop is 5. So I always thought ore just drops 1 at a time. Which then in either case it must be you can cast it 5 times. I don't know if you give him enough speed to go twice. So that merits some testing. Because he has 51 speed, I think it is. So he's slightly faster than the Dark Lord. So he definitely goes first. With an extra 15, if we could get him to go twice sometimes, that would be pretty decent. I will have to just double check we have... yeah, we have plenty of ingredients, never mind. But so the idea would be... souffle, transmutes, heal if need be, tap, clear. Seems pretty good. Between the nurse and the tavern owner, they wouldn't be able to trigger an ore. Because what I'm also hoping is if we clear a bunch of ore at the same time, that the effect triggers for all of them. Wow, I just noticed his food. Doesn't even fit. It's interesting. Okay, so let me figure out gear, and then give this a spin. I can't think of any changes really to make. I guess we are just going with this. I will save it. Ore find. What do we at? 180. Alright, because we cut 1 miner. But it's still tempting to cut a miner from nurse. We do want radioactive shields. I should be able to make another one to put on the other miner. Almost. 35, perfect. I should probably upgrade them as well, thinking about it. They probably give more stats. Craft, level up. Yeah, it goes up to 14, like the armor. Perfect. Ore find back over 200. No, 187, so not a huge jump. Fine. Again, nurse is probably on the chopping block, or the tavern owner. Is there any of these we care about? Not that one, not that one. The clock doesn't matter because we're in credits. Health doesn't really matter. More essence, it's kind of impactful. Essence is the only real one. And he also has the inbuilt up to 2 enemies per floor can spawn with essence. So that's what we'd be cutting for an extra miner. I suppose the whole point of this is ore, not essence. So, yeah, we'll fire him. Hire another miner. They can have the Stein. We need 1 more radioactive shield. Hopefully we can make one. We cannot. 3 off. It's fine for this run anyway. You can have gold find and withering. It's like We are slightly down on withering now. But hopefully it doesn't impact too much. So this should be the comp. Let's give it a whirl and see how much more than 57 we get. We'll probably just start at 5,000 since it doesn't make a big difference and we can definitely clear. Done on. So we'll do 10,000 this time. If this goes well, we'll probably just dump 50% of the credits and then do the other half on the primal lands. Primal lands, it's probably going to be a bit harder, although we do have the sandy gems on everyone, so that takes delirium out of the mix. It's just the scaling of all the mobs is the general issue. Right, so easily done. Loot-wise, unfortunately we haven't seen the enchanter stuff, so I'm gonna assume we can't get it. 72. So, over the long run, it is a great boost. Just not as much as I'd hoped, unfortunately. So we'll make the last of the uranium, then we'll probably do, say, 50,000. Should also spend my credits on, say, gold. So craft. What actually do we even need to craft? Because we have as much ore fine as we can get. Don't we? No, I needed one more shield, that's what it was. Craft. 24. So little. Don't forget to level it up again. What would really help is more... not extinction. Where is it? This one? No. Garb of the Grease Lord, which we actually don't have on anyone, so that should be instead of the extinction plate. This has 50 ore find. If we could find 3 more, probably better. Well, it's probably more ore find than the uranium. Where is it? So many things. 32, and if we get rid of this, it's now 28. So it's only 4 from this. So definitely just 6 garbs of the Grease Lord would be a lot better. Radioactive Rod, that's one other thing we can swap out just for a little bit more. Don't know if we can make one. We need 25. Oh right, and we used it all. Oh. Did our ingredients also get down too much? Did go down substantially. We lost 20,000 ingredients. I mean, it'll take ages to burn through it, and then in the meantime, I'd go back to grinding, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so we'll start at 5,000, and might as well just use half of it. So that's... I probably want more Labradorite. So we'll go with 75,000. And it's going to take a while, so... yeah. Oh, that was awful. So we're probably ending, but we might as well view. A lot of gold, a lot of essence, which I forgot to spend. 720 ore. Ooh, if we do the math. 720 by every 10,000 should mean 50, so 720... No, that still works out. Divided by 7.5 is still... it's close to 100. So what happened there? I guess it's just from the chef over a longer run. Instead of getting 70 plus, we got close to 100. Pretty good. Right, I guess we'll move on over to the primal land and see if we can have similar success with hunting some Labradors. So, crafting wise, definitely be able to make full sets of stuff. Craft all, 240. It is unfortunate because plating is definitely going to eat it up. Yeah, wow, you need 100 to plate. Does the 7% really play into things in the late game? Because it's only base stats. So because you have the relics, it doesn't really matter. I'm also curious if anything really jumped up. A lot of these are in the thousands now, so it's mainly them. But yeah, so I don't think Uranium's going to be too important other than boss rush. And to be honest, there's no need to do boss rush once we have enough Labradorite. So, and Labradorite is for credits. Okay. What? So, I guess we're grinding out resources for no real point, other than crafting, obviously, this stuff. What do you even need? Just a bunch of obsidian, so yeah, that's interesting. Well, anyway, we'll give it a go. I did not think this through. We'll start at 5,000. I guess we're doing it in shorter bursts. So, where are we up to? We're up to 30,000, so we'll just do 10,000 bursts, I guess. See if we can handle that. See how much Labradorite we get. Right, let's see how we did. Less gold, less essence, of course. 86. So it's roughly around the same. We might as well keep going. Probably end after the next one, and then look at the crafting, how much we actually need. But like, do I even need a full set of the trinkets? To be honest, I should just get these resources, and then the next big goal should be just floor 900,000, because then we can work out a fast comp, and then hopefully our fast comp can obviously translate over to utilizing, what am I even trying to say? The finding mythics, that's what I'm trying to say. Good thing this is just a progress bar and I can cut stuff out. Right, so we're at, where we're at? We're at 25,000. Far less gold. Ended at 151. So 86, yeah, so about equivalent. Crafting wise, Labradorite is just for plating and these talismans. But would I even use these talismans? This is the question. Plating wise, it's just battle credits, which don't work on boss rush, annoyingly. So, yeah. We're really just going for gold then. I mean, that's probably the best use of our gold, of our credits, is going for gold rather than anything else, and trying to get this alternate paths. The animation one is a bit far off, but definitely going for the alternate paths. Alright, we'll save our little ore farm comp. Oh, yeah. You all know what I did. Yeah. When did that happen? So, I even have 2 copies of the mod bucket. I guess you can get them from credits, and I should scroll through, they just go below all the weapons we found. Wow, that's unfortunate. We'll get to them in a second. I'm going to finish, obviously, fixing up the equipment I ruined. And then, yeah, we'll talk about that. Right, so the reason I'm bummed about not noticing that I got the accessories was my understanding is you need to fight whoever this unlocks. You need to beat them X amount of times. I think it's 2,000 from what I've been told. So my hope was to beat them using credits, because I think the way it works is they replace the normal janitors with something tougher, and you need to beat them 10,000 times, and janitor obviously only appears every 100 floors. So if you can do the math, that's a lot of floors you need to clear. It's 1,000,000 floors to be honest. That's the right math, yeah. 100 times 10,000, so extra 4 zeros. 3, yeah, it's 1,000,000. You need to beat them 1,000,000 times, or you need to do 1,000,000 floors in total. And obviously, I would have loved to do a big chunk of that through credits. We're now only at 100,000. But at least we have a decent looking gold comp. So again, plating, I'm not too big on the ones I have. So the ruby for withering and gold for gold. Because I have tons of rubies and tons of gold. So I'm happy to just disassemble and redo them. But we're probably just going to burn out the last of our credits and see exactly how much gold we get. So we'll start at 10,000. So I have to do it this way. We'll go up, so it's nice and even. We'll start at 100,000 and we'll just blow through everything we've got. I do want to make sure I saved. I did, and this will be gold farm. And then I guess just back to progression for me. Once we get the sort of space and time, we'll probably go back to the primal lands for a bit, finish out gear, and then wrap up with getting to 2 million. Not a lot of episodes left. Kind of sad. I've been really enjoying this game. So we don't need mine shafts anymore. We do want bonus treasure since it can often be gold. Right, let's just pump it all. Let's see how much gold we get. Back in a bit. Ooh, we lost. It's fine. Oh, wow. It's completely fine. More gold than we ever got before. Ooh. Do I save up? On parts will be chosen or skipped instantly. That's really good. I need 1,000 Ts to get to a Q. So no, we don't save up. We just grab the alternate paths. Active. That would have hindered my ore farming. Heads up. Anyway, I guess I'll just do that over and over and see how much gold we get. I'll pump some relics and we'll come back and hopefully with a huge stack at the end. Looks like we're actually going to get through all the credits. Thanks to the slight bump to the relics, I think I only did 1,000 levels on the magic one. Yeah, cool. Used all the credits. How much gold? 2.3 trillion. It's obviously not anywhere near the quadrillion, but definitely helpful. And now we're getting a lot. And so yeah, they are on the list. I would like to see where exactly the janitor list is. Ooh, records, maybe? Time. Claws mob. That the janitors? Either way, when it happens, it happens. Now that we have the items, I'll just run it, and yeah, so I'm just going to probably continue hacking away at progression and seeing how far I can push the floors, and we'll probably the next one won't be till I get to floor 900,000, and then we'll swap back over to maybe mythic grinding and trying to figure out the optimum comp for speed and progression. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.